Welcome to Lace-Lit Audiobooks, Inner World Power. Introduction. There's a quiet power inside each of us, a force so profound yet so overlooked that most of us live our entire lives unaware of its existence. And that power is your inner world, the invisible universe inside your mind, heart, and soul that quietly shapes every experience, every choice, and every moment of your life. In a world obsessed with external achievements, getting the right job, the perfect house, the ideal relationship, we forget that the real architecture of our lives is designed from within, crafted by the thoughts we think, the emotions we carry, and the beliefs we hold deep beneath the surface. This book isn't about quick hacks or motivational fluff. It's about uncovering that silent power, the hidden engine that fuels your reality, and learning how to harness it with intention and grace. Together, we'll explore how your mind and heart create the blueprint for everything you see in your outer world, why so many people feel stuck or overwhelmed, and how you can rewrite your story by stepping into the full strength of your inner world power. Whether you're feeling lost, hopeful, or ready to break free from old patterns, this journey will meet you exactly where you are, with compassion, honesty, and practical wisdom that's rooted in both timeless truth and modern science. So if you're ready to stop letting life happen to you and start designing your reality from the inside out, then this is your moment. As you listen, remember, this book is not just words, it's an invitation to awaken the power that's been quietly waiting inside you all along. And if you find yourself moved, inspired, or simply curious, please like, comment, and share this video, because your story matters. And the more of us who awaken to this inner power, the stronger we become together. Chapter 1. The Silent Power Within. Most people spend their whole lives looking out there, chasing something they can see, touch, or prove. A better job, a bigger house, more likes, less stress. We're taught to believe that the answers we're searching for are somewhere outside of us, waiting to be discovered like treasure. But what if the real power, the kind that can change your entire life, was never out there at all? What if it's been sitting quietly inside you this whole time, waiting to be heard? The truth is, there is a silent force within every human being, a raw, untapped power inside your mind and heart that's been buried under years of noise, pressure, and expectation. You felt glimpses of it before. That moment you trusted your gut and it led you somewhere incredible. That time you walked away from something toxic without fully knowing why. That feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when something just doesn't sit right. That's not randomness. That's not coincidence. That's your inner world, the silent, invisible engine driving everything you think, feel, attract, and create. And here's the hard truth. If you don't take control of that inner world, something or someone else will. Society, trauma, comparison, fear, old stories you didn't even write. They'll write your life for you unless you take the pen back. You see, the inner world isn't made of walls or logic or opinions. It's made of energy, beliefs, self-talk, memory, emotion. It's made of every single whisper you've ever said to yourself when no one was listening. And right now, whether you're winning or losing, loving your life or secretly feeling numb, it's all a reflection of what's going on inside. People don't talk about this enough because it's not flashy. You can't show off inner growth the way you show off a new car or a beach vacation. But you can feel it. You can feel when someone is at peace with themselves. You can feel when someone's energy is calm, confident, grounded. That kind of power can't be faked. And the most beautiful part, you don't need permission from anyone to tap into it. You don't need a degree, a guru, or $1 million. You just need to pause and listen. Deep down, we all know when we're out of alignment. We all know when we're betraying ourselves just to fit in or keep the peace. And we all have the ability to stop, turn inward, and ask, what do I actually believe? What do I actually want? Who am I without all the noise? That's where the shift begins. That's where real change happens. Not by controlling the world around you, but by mastering the world within you. The silent power inside you isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming honest with yourself, with your patterns, with your truth. And it doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter how far off track you feel. The inner world doesn't judge. It just waits for you to come home to it. That's the real homecoming most people never talk about. Not a relationship, not a dream job, not a number in your bank account, but the moment you finally stop running from yourself. And when that happens, everything changes. You start seeing life differently. You stop reacting to everything and start responding with clarity. You stop chasing validation and start choosing alignment. You stop waiting for peace and realize it was within you all along. The most powerful people in the world aren't loud. They're not the ones with the most followers or the flashiest lives. They're the ones who know who they are inside and live from that place, no matter what. That can be you. Yes, you. Not someday, not when you've healed or when you're ready, right now, right here. And I promise you, once you tap into this silent power, once you stop letting fear and chaos run your mind, once you learn to sit with yourself without distraction or judgment, you will unlock a version of you that feels like coming home. Not because you became someone new, but because you finally remembered who you already were. This is your invitation, not just to listen to this chapter, but to really feel it. To pause and check in with the quiet part of you that's been whispering truths you've ignored, to start asking better questions, to be bold enough to stop outsourcing your power, because once you turn inward, once you tap into that unshakable force inside you, nothing on the outside can control you again. And if this message stirred something in you, if it woke something up even just a little, I want to ask you for something important. Not just for me, but for someone else who might need this reminder just like you did. Share this with a friend, a co-worker, a sibling, someone who's struggling silently, looking for light. Leave a comment below about what part hit you the hardest, what spoke to you, what you've been carrying. Like this video if your soul whispered yes while listening. Let's not just listen. Let's build a space where real conversations happen, where the inner world finally gets the attention it deserves. Because once we learn to live from the inside out, that's when everything outside starts to make sense. Chapter 2. The War Between Two Worlds. There's a war going on, and most people don't even realize they're in it. It's not a war you'll see on the news. It's not loud, not televised, not trending on Twitter. It's quiet, invisible, and personal. It's the battle between two worlds. The world outside you, the world of pressure, opinions, noise, and expectations, and the world inside you, the one made of thoughts, emotions, intuition, and that voice you haven't listened to in years. Most people spend their entire lives reacting to the outer world. They chase approval. They chase success. They chase the feeling of being enough, hoping that if they just get the job, the house, the body, or the follower count, they'll finally feel at peace. But peace doesn't come from performance. It comes from alignment. And alignment only happens when the inner world and the outer world stop fighting each other. You see, when you were a kid, your inner world was everything. You dreamed out loud. You imagined wildly. You believed in magic, in yourself, and in the impossible. But somewhere along the way, someone said, "Be realistic. Don't be too emotional. That's not how the world works." And slowly, your attention shifted from inward to outward, from your truth to their rules, from self-expression to self-protection, and ever since, your two worlds have been at war. You feel it every time you smile while dying inside, every time you say yes when your gut screams no, every time you silence your intuition to play it safe, to blend in, to be liked. This is not weakness, it's conditioning. You were trained to doubt your inner world. The world out there rewarded compliance, not clarity. It measured your worth by output, not by peace. And in that pressure, your true self was buried. But let me tell you this, the version of you that's hidden beneath the people-pleasing, the overthinking, the fear of judgment, that version of you never left. It's just been waiting for you to get quiet, waiting for you to come home, because no matter how polished your life looks on the outside, if it's not aligned with your inner world, you will feel empty. That's why celebrities with millions still suffer in silence. That's why people with six-figure jobs lie awake at night feeling like something's missing. That's why someone can have it all and still feel like they're losing themselves, because they're losing the war inside. But here's the good news. You can stop fighting today. You can choose to listen to the still, small voice inside you, the one that knows when you're lying to yourself, the one that knows what lights you up, the one that doesn't care about optics, status, or trends. The world out there will always be noisy. It'll tell you what to wear, who to date, what to post, and what to believe. But the world inside, it whispers, it waits, it never forces, it invites. And once you start listening, everything begins to change. Decisions feel lighter, relationships become real. You stop performing and start being. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop chasing and start choosing. And for the first time in a long time, you feel free. Because freedom isn't found in doing whatever you want. It's found in becoming who you truly are. And who you are has been buried beneath years of shoulds, musts, and what will they think? But not anymore. Not today. This chapter isn't just information, it's a mirror. And if you're feeling something stir in your chest right now, that's not random. That's your inner world waking up. You've been handed the keys to your own peace. The question is, are you willing to use them? The real revolution won't be televised, because it happens in silence. When a person finally stops trying to impress the world and starts honoring their soul. So yes, the war between two worlds is real, but the one that wins is the one you feed. Choose wisely and choose daily, because your inner world is not weak, it's not soft, it's not strange. It's sacred. And the moment you choose to live from the inside out, not the outside in, that's the moment your life finally begins to feel like yours. That's the shift. That's the breakthrough. That's your power. If this chapter spoke to you, if it made you feel even a tiny spark of something real inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Someone you know is still fighting their silent war, and your share could be the wake-up call they didn't know they needed. Like this video, drop your story in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear that it's okay to come home to themselves. Chapter 3. Thoughts are architects. Have you ever stopped to realize that every single thing you see around you, the life you live, the house you call home, the relationships you nurture, even the beliefs you hold about yourself, started first as a thought? It's wild to think about, but every reality, no matter how big or small, begins in the invisible space of your mind. Think of your thoughts as architects, the invisible builders drawing the blueprints of your life before a single brick is laid or a single action is taken. Now, most people don't realize this, or they underestimate it completely. They get caught up in external circumstances, waiting for a job to come, for someone else to change, or for luck to suddenly drop a better reality in their lap. But in truth, the world you experience every day is not separate from your inner thought patterns. It's a direct reflection of them. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your emotions, which then guide your actions, forming the habits that build your future. This process happens so naturally and effortlessly that we don't even notice it happening. It's like your mind is quietly working behind the scenes, drafting the design of your reality without your conscious permission. This is why people often feel stuck, as if their lives are happening to them rather than because of them, because they've allowed limiting, negative, or unconscious thoughts to become the foundations of their inner architecture. But here's the beautiful truth. Because your thoughts are architects, you have the power to become the master builder. You can choose which thoughts to nurture, which beliefs to reinforce, and which mental blueprints to tear down and rebuild. This is where the power of awareness comes in. When you begin to watch your thoughts without judgment or fear, you start to see the patterns that have been shaping your life without your conscious consent. Maybe you've carried thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never be successful," or "I don't deserve happiness" for years. These thoughts are not just words in your head. They are the silent architects crafting a world where you limit yourself before you even try. They become a self-fulfilling prophecy, coloring your perception so deeply that you unconsciously act in ways that confirm them, avoiding opportunities, giving up too soon, or shutting down emotionally. But imagine what would happen if you became aware of those thoughts and replaced them bit by bit, day by day, with thoughts that support your growth and happiness. Instead of "I'm not good enough," you might begin to think, "I'm capable and learning every day." Instead of "I'll never be successful," you could try "Success is a journey I'm willing to take step by step." This simple shift in thought is revolutionary because your brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences when you repeat these thoughts often enough. This is the power of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on the signals it receives from your mind. Every time you consciously choose a positive, empowering thought, you are training your brain to build new pathways that support a better reality. And the more you repeat these thoughts, the stronger those pathways become, eventually becoming your default way of thinking. This doesn't mean you will never have doubts or fears again. It means you're choosing to build a foundation that supports resilience, hope, and creativity. It means you are stepping into the role of the architect of your own life, wielding your thoughts like tools to design a future that aligns with your deepest desires. But this is not a one-time fix. Just like any skill, mastering your thoughts requires practice, patience, and kindness toward yourself. There will be days when old patterns sneak in, when the mind rebels and drags you back into old, familiar mental blueprints. That's normal. It's part of being human. The key is not to fight those moments with frustration or self-criticism, but to gently guide yourself back to awareness, observing those thoughts and consciously choosing a different direction. Over time, this creates momentum. You build a mental framework strong enough to weather storms and flexible enough to embrace growth. Your thoughts become a garden you tend daily, planting seeds of confidence, watering dreams, and uprooting weeds of doubt. This process is the foundation of all change and transformation because nothing external can shift without a shift inside. When you begin to understand that thoughts are the architects of your reality, you unlock a secret that changes everything. You realize you are not a victim of circumstance, but the designer of your life experience. The power is always within you. And if you want this video and book to truly help you, I invite you to do something simple but powerful right now. Pause and ask yourself, what thoughts have been quietly building the blueprint of my life? Reflect honestly, without judgment. Then decide which thoughts you want to keep and which ones you're ready to tear down. Share your answer in the comments below, because when you speak your truth, you inspire others to do the same. And if this message resonated with you, hit the like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Remember, your mind is the architect of your reality. Choose your thoughts wisely, build with intention, and watch your world transform. Your inner world power starts here. Chapter 4. Emotional Wiring. Have you ever stopped to notice how a single feeling can completely change your day, sometimes without any clear reason? Maybe it's waking up with a knot of anxiety that won't quit, or feeling inexplicably joyful and alive after a simple conversation with a friend. These emotions are not random. They're the signals your inner wiring sends to you, the language your subconscious uses to guide your life. Yet most of us grow up being told to just get over it, or don't feel so much. The truth is, emotions are not signs of weakness or irrationality. They are the powerful pulse of your inner world, the way your mind and body communicate in harmony or chaos, depending on how well you understand your own emotional wiring. Think about it. From the moment you were born, your brain has been shaped and molded by your experiences, especially those early ones. And those emotional imprints create deep neural pathways that control how you react to stress, joy, fear, or love. This wiring often runs beneath your conscious awareness, like a vast underground electrical grid, powering your thoughts, decisions, and habits without you even realizing it. When your emotional wiring is tangled with fear, doubt, or pain, it can trigger automatic responses that keep you stuck in the same patterns. Maybe it's avoiding risks because you've learned to associate failure with shame, or shutting down emotionally because vulnerability felt unsafe growing up. On the other hand, when you begin to recognize and rewire those emotional circuits, you unlock an incredible power to choose your response, to move from automatic reaction into conscious creation. Imagine rewiring your emotional brain like upgrading an old, flickering circuit breaker into a smooth, steady current, one that powers resilience, compassion, and joy. This isn't about suppressing feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about understanding the why behind your emotional reactions and learning to honor and guide them rather than being controlled by them. Science tells us that the brain's plasticity allows you to build new neural connections throughout life, meaning your emotional wiring isn't fixed. It's adaptable and deeply influenced by your daily choices and thoughts. Practicing emotional awareness, like noticing when anxiety flares and pausing to breathe rather than react, starts to create new grooves in the brain, making space for healthier emotional responses to become your default. One powerful tool to begin this transformation is simply naming your emotions. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by bad vibes, you identify exactly what you're experiencing: sadness, frustration, excitement, or hope. This simple act gives you a surprising amount of control because it moves the feeling from the hidden subconscious into your conscious mind where you can work with it. Another way to rewire your emotional system is through self-compassion, the practice of treating yourself with kindness, especially in moments when your old wiring triggers self-criticism or shame. Self-compassion rewires the brain's threat responses into safety signals, encouraging emotional healing and courage. And let's be honest, life throws curveballs that shake us to the core: loss, failure, heartbreak. And it's in these moments that emotional wiring either traps us in old pain or offers us the chance to grow stronger and wiser. The difference lies in how you process those emotions and whether you give yourself permission to truly feel them without judgment or rush. When you allow emotions to flow like a river, you give your inner world space to reset, clean out debris, and nourish new growth. This chapter is not just theory, it's a call to explore your own emotional landscape with curiosity and courage. It's about embracing your feelings as powerful guides instead of enemies to be defeated. When you start to understand your emotional wiring, you'll notice your relationships improve because you'll communicate more authentically. You'll make decisions with greater clarity because you're no longer ruled by unconscious fear. And you'll experience a deeper connection to your own life's purpose. This is the real inner power everyone talks about, but few truly claim. So, if this resonates with you, I invite you to pause right now and ask, what emotions have I been ignoring? How has my emotional wiring been shaping my life without me knowing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth, and if this message is sparking something inside you, hit that like button, because real change begins the moment we choose to listen to our inner world and honor the power of our feelings. Remember, your emotions are not your enemies. They're the electrical wiring of your soul, ready to light up the life you're meant to live. Chapter 5. The Subconscious Mirror. Have you ever stopped to wonder why, despite your best intentions, you sometimes feel stuck, repeating the same mistakes, battling the same fears, or falling into the same patterns no matter how hard you try to change? The answer lies in the silent but powerful world of your subconscious mind, which is like a mirror reflecting back to you everything you believe deep down, even if you're not consciously aware of it. This invisible part of your mind is the autopilot running 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions every single day, quietly shaping your reality without you realizing it. Think about the times you've tried to break a habit or shift your mindset, but found yourself pulled back into old behaviors, almost like there's an unseen force holding you captive. That's your subconscious at work, repeating the programs it learned early in life from childhood experiences, family messages, cultural influences, and even trauma, and keeping you locked in patterns designed to keep you safe, even if that safety feels limiting or painful now. The subconscious doesn't judge. It only obeys the instructions you've fed it over time. It's like a record player stuck on a loop, playing back the same song, whether that song is about worthiness, fear, love, or scarcity. The real breakthrough comes when you begin to recognize that this subconscious mirror is not fixed. It can be cleaned, polished, and reprogrammed. You're not doomed to live out the scripts written for you long ago. Imagine standing before a foggy mirror and slowly wiping away years of grime until you see your true reflection clearly for the first time. That's what rewiring your subconscious feels like, lifting the fog so you can finally see your authentic self, the one capable of creating a new story, a new future. This process isn't easy or instantaneous. It takes patience, awareness, and repeated effort, but it's the key to unlocking lasting change. One powerful way to start this rewiring is by catching the automatic thoughts that pass through your mind, the self-criticisms, doubts, or fears, and challenging them. Instead of accepting "I'm not good enough" or "I'll never succeed" as facts, you begin to ask, "Is this really true?" and replace those limiting beliefs with empowering truths like "I am capable" or "I am worthy of success." This isn't about blind optimism or forcing yourself to think positively. It's about gently reshaping your inner dialogue so it supports your growth rather than sabotages it. Another transformative tool is visualization. Seeing yourself living the life you want, feeling the emotions of success, happiness, and peace as if they are happening right now. When you do this consistently, you impress new images onto your subconscious mind, creating new neural pathways that guide your actions toward that reality. Meditation, journaling, and affirmations are also powerful allies in this journey, helping you become more conscious of what's hidden beneath the surface and gradually rewiring those subconscious patterns. It's important to remember that your subconscious mind is incredibly loyal. Once it starts receiving new instructions, it will work tirelessly to bring those into your reality, sometimes even before your conscious mind fully believes it. This can feel like magic or simply the natural result of deep inner work. The key is consistency and compassion with yourself. This is a lifelong relationship, not a quick fix. When you begin to understand the subconscious mirror, you'll start noticing how much of your life is shaped by invisible forces and how much power you truly hold to change the reflection you see every day. The old story that you are a victim of your past, genetics, or circumstances loses its grip, and you step into the role of conscious creator, able to choose which parts of your story you want to rewrite and which new chapters you want to write. This awakening leads to a profound sense of freedom and peace, because you realize that your inner world is not just a passive reflection, but the very foundation on which your outer world is built. Your subconscious mirror, once a source of limitation, becomes a source of unlimited possibility, reflecting back a version of yourself that you've crafted with intention, love, and clarity. Now, if this chapter has touched something deep within you, if you recognize the power you hold in this invisible mirror and feel ready to start cleaning it up and shining it bright, I invite you to do something simple but powerful right now. Hit that like button to show you're ready to take control of your inner world. Leave a comment below sharing one limiting belief you want to release, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth today. When we share our journeys, we light the way for others to find their own power. Your subconscious mirror is waiting. Let's clean it together and step boldly into the life you deserve. Chapter 6. The Power of Stillness. In the relentless rush of modern life, where every moment seems filled with noise, distraction, and urgency, the idea of stillness can feel almost radical, even revolutionary, as if simply pausing is an act of rebellion against a world that demands constant movement, productivity, and busyness. Yet stillness is not about doing nothing. It is a profound power, a doorway to your deepest self that too many overlook or misunderstand. When we talk about stillness here, we're not referring to mere silence or emptiness, but to a sacred space within you where the chatter of the mind fades and your true inner voice begins to speak clearly and authentically. Imagine for a moment the feeling of complete calm, where your breath slows, your thoughts soften, and your body unwinds from the tension it carries, not because you've escaped life's challenges, but because you've chosen to meet them from a place of grounded presence and clarity. This is the power of stillness, an intentional retreat inward, a momentary pause where you stop trying to control or fix everything and simply allow yourself to be fully and without judgment. It's in these moments that you reconnect with your true power, the power that exists not in the chaos around you, but in the quiet center inside you that observes, understands, and holds space for all your experiences. Most people avoid stillness because it can feel uncomfortable. Without distraction, the mind may wander into fears, worries, or painful memories that we usually try to push away. But stillness doesn't mean ignoring these feelings. Rather, it means allowing them to surface gently, witnessing them without being overwhelmed, and learning that you are bigger than any single thought or emotion. Science now confirms what ancient wisdom has taught for centuries. Stillness and mindfulness literally reshape your brain, strengthening areas linked to emotional regulation, focus, and empathy, while reducing the activity in regions responsible for stress and anxiety. This neurological rewiring means that by practicing stillness regularly, whether through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply sitting quietly, you create a new foundation for how you experience life, a foundation built on calm, clarity, and resilience instead of reactive chaos. And the beauty of this power is that it's always available to you. No matter how hectic your day, you can find a moment to pause, breathe, and access this inner sanctuary. Yet, it's not just about the personal benefits. When you cultivate stillness, your energy shifts, affecting everyone around you. You become a source of calm in your relationships, a steady presence in your work, and an anchor in your community. Your ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively transforms how you navigate conflict, make decisions, and lead your life. Many great leaders, artists, and thinkers attribute their clarity and creativity to their dedication to stillness, recognizing that breakthroughs don't come from frantic busyness, but from quiet moments of insight. In a world that often glorifies the hustle, stillness invites you to reclaim your own rhythm, honoring your natural cycles of energy and rest. It teaches patience, not as a passive waiting, but as an active, powerful presence that trusts the timing of life. To practice stillness is to practice kindness toward yourself. It's a radical act of self-care that says, I am worthy of peace, and I deserve to be heard. So if you've been caught in a storm of thoughts and endless to-do lists, I invite you to try something simple yet profound. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and just breathe, slowly, deeply, fully. Let your mind settle like dust in still water, and listen to the gentle rhythm of your breath. You might notice thoughts trying to pull you away, but don't fight them. Acknowledge them and gently return your focus to the breath. This practice, done daily, even for just a few minutes, builds your ability to return to stillness whenever life feels overwhelming. It's in this quiet power that you'll find clarity to see what truly matters, courage to face what's difficult, and strength to move forward with intention. If this chapter spoke to you, please take a moment to like, share, or comment your own experiences with stillness or mindfulness below. Your story could be the spark that helps someone else find their own quiet power. Remember, the journey inward is the most courageous one you'll ever take, and every step into stillness is a step toward unlocking your fullest, most authentic self. Share this message widely. The world needs more calm, clarity, and connection, and it starts with the power you hold quietly inside. Chapter 7. Reclaiming the Inner Voice. There's a voice inside each of us, soft and steady, like a lighthouse beam cutting through the fog, guiding us toward what's real and true. But for so many, that voice has been drowned out by the noise of the outside world, by the expectations of others, and most painfully, by our own harsh self-judgments. Reclaiming this inner voice isn't just about hearing yourself think more clearly. It's about reconnecting with the deepest part of your soul that remembers who you are beyond all the labels, fears, and past mistakes that have piled up over the years. For decades, many of us have been trained to ignore this voice, taught to prioritize logic over intuition, achievement over authenticity, and external approval over internal peace. And so, the voice gets quiet, or worse, it becomes that relentless inner critic that tells us we're not enough, not worthy, or too broken to fix. But here's the truth that can change everything. Your inner voice is not broken. It's waiting for you to slow down enough to listen, to trust it enough to follow, and to love it enough to protect it from the doubts that try to silence it. Imagine for a moment a child in you, curious, creative, innocent, who has been muted and shushed by the harshness of the world. Reclaiming your inner voice means inviting that child back into the conversation, giving it the space to express, to dream, and to heal. It means peeling back layers of conditioned fears and societal rules that have told you to stay small or quiet. This journey is not always easy, because reclaiming your inner voice often means going against the grain of what you thought was normal or expected. It can mean saying no when everyone else says yes, choosing solitude when others want your constant presence, or trusting a gut feeling when logic screams it's wrong. But the power of this voice lies in its pure, unfiltered connection to your core self, an internal compass that, once you learn to trust it, will lead you through confusion, heartbreak, and uncertainty with a steady hand. In this chapter, we're going to explore how to start hearing that voice again, how to silence the noise, and how to nurture your connection so it becomes a source of clarity and strength. We'll talk about simple yet profound practices, like journaling your thoughts without judgment, spending time in nature where distractions fall away, and learning to breathe into the discomfort of silence so it becomes a sanctuary rather than a void. And we'll confront the toughest challenge of all, the inner critic, that relentless voice that wears down your confidence and feeds your fears. Understanding that this critic isn't your enemy, but a part of you trying to protect you in a flawed way is the first step toward transformation. You'll learn how to acknowledge it without letting it dominate your story, how to speak back with kindness and truth, and how to build a new narrative, one where your inner voice becomes your most loyal ally, not your worst enemy. Reclaiming. Your inner voice is reclaiming your power. It's reclaiming your story. And when you begin to trust it fully, the world outside will start to reflect the deep wisdom and peace you carry inside. So if you're listening right now, take this as your invitation to lean in, to turn down the volume on everything else, and to give yourself permission to be heard by yourself first and then by the world. And if this chapter touched something inside you, if it sparked even the smallest flicker of recognition, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and drop a comment below sharing what your inner voice sounds like, or maybe what you want it to sound like, because your story matters, your voice matters. And when we reclaim our inner voices together, we start a movement of real, lasting change, one heart at a time. Chapter 8. Energy Doesn't Lie. If you've ever walked into a room and instantly felt uncomfortable or conversely felt calm and welcomed, you've experienced the undeniable truth that energy doesn't lie. Energy is the invisible language. Your body and soul understand long before your mind has a chance to catch up. It's the vibration that everyone everywhere carries with them, whether they realize it or not. This chapter is about tuning into that frequency because it is one of the most powerful tools we have to navigate life, build authentic relationships, and create a reality that truly serves us. The truth is, what you carry inside, the energy you radiate, it's magnetic, attracting situations, people, and outcomes that match your vibration. Think about that for a moment. Your feelings, your thoughts, your deepest beliefs, they combine to create an energy field that either draws in possibility or repels it. And no matter how much you try to fake it or put on a brave face, that energy seeps through. You can't hide it, because energy is primal and authentic. It's like a fingerprint, utterly unique and impossible to copy perfectly. When your energy is low, weighed down by fear, doubt, resentment, or exhaustion, you become a walking beacon for struggle and resistance. People may not always say it out loud, but they sense it. Opportunities don't come your way, connections feel strained, and even your own body reacts with tension and fatigue. On the flip side, when you raise your energy, choosing emotions like gratitude, love, curiosity, and joy, something remarkable happens. The world seems to open up. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to appear. People are drawn to your light, and you attract experiences that align with that elevated vibration. This is not New Age fluff. It's rooted in the very physics of how energy works in the universe, and it's been validated by science too. Studies show that our brain waves, heart rhythms, and even the electromagnetic field around our bodies fluctuate based on emotional states. When you're angry or anxious, your body produces stress hormones that literally lower your energy. When you're calm or happy, you release chemicals that elevate it. This biochemical dance doesn't just impact your mood, it sends out signals to everyone and everything around you, influencing your environment in ways most people never stop to consider. So why don't we pay more attention to this? Why do so many people struggle with energy depletion without realizing how crucial it is? The answer lies partly in how modern life disconnects us from ourselves. We're so busy chasing deadlines, scrolling on social media, and responding to endless demands that we forget to check in with our own energy levels. We treat energy like a gas tank we never refill properly. But here's the catch. Energy is not just about how tired or awake you feel, it's about the quality of your inner state. You can be physically exhausted but emotionally vibrant, or the opposite, wide awake but emotionally drained. Tuning into your energy means developing a deep, compassionate awareness of what you're truly feeling beneath the surface. It means recognizing that every thought, every word you say to yourself, and every choice you make creates ripples in your energetic field. This is why practices like mindfulness, meditation, breathwork, and movement are more than trendy. They're essential tools to help you recalibrate and raise your energy in a world designed to drain it. But raising your energy isn't about denying negative feelings or pretending everything is perfect. It's about embracing all of your emotions honestly, and then consciously choosing which energy you want to feed and expand. Anger and sadness have a place. They're signals that something needs your attention. But staying stuck there, letting those energies define your entire day or identity, only lowers your vibration and limits your power. Here's the empowering truth. You have the choice every moment to shift your energy. Sometimes it's as simple as changing your breath, stepping outside into sunlight, or reaching out to someone you love. Other times it's harder. It requires deep healing, releasing old hurts, and forgiving yourself for mistakes. But the more you practice tuning in and making intentional energy choices, the stronger your inner compass becomes. You start to notice subtle shifts. A heaviness lifts, your mind clears, and the people and opportunities that once felt out of reach begin to show up. That is the magnetic force of aligned energy at work. When you live this way, you become a beacon of possibility, a living example that change and growth aren't just ideas, they're felt realities. People will sense that shift in you, even if they can't explain it. They will want to listen, learn, and be around you, because energy doesn't lie, and they recognize your authenticity. This is why your energy matters more than you realize. It's the foundation of your inner world power, the silent language that shapes your external world. So today, I invite you to become the living from the inside out, is one of those phrases you might have heard, tossed around like a trendy life hack. But it's so much more than a buzzword. It's the core of authentic living, the secret to waking up every day feeling aligned, grounded, and ready to face whatever comes your way, no matter how wild or uncertain life feels on the outside. For too long, many of us have been living the opposite way, reacting to the world around us, letting external chaos, expectations, social media validation, or even the opinions of people we barely know dictate our moods, decisions, and sense of worth. Imagine living instead as if your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and values, was your true north compass, guiding your every choice, interaction, and dream. When you learn to live from this place, the noise of life loses its power over you. You stop chasing fleeting happiness from things or achievements, and instead find a calm confidence that no circumstance can shake. It's a freedom so deep that it doesn't depend on your job title, relationship status, or bank account balance. It's a power that radiates from inside and colors everything you do with meaning and intention. But how do you get there? It's not about flipping a switch overnight or forcing yourself to think positive when life is messy and painful. It's about doing the slow, sometimes uncomfortable work of peeling back layers of conditioning and self-doubt to discover who you truly are beneath all the roles you play. This process asks you to stop running from your feelings or pretending everything is fine, and instead meet your fears, insecurities, and doubts with kindness and curiosity. It means learning to listen deeply to the quiet whispers of your soul, those subtle nudges that tell you what lights you up, what drains your energy, and what boundaries you need to set to protect your peace. Living from the inside out also means embracing your unique path, not the one society tells you to follow. It means honoring your intuition when it tells you to pivot careers, walk away from toxic relationships, or pursue passions that don't necessarily pay the bills but feed your spirit. And yes, this journey can feel lonely at times because it challenges the status quo, but it also connects you to a tribe of like-minded souls who understand that true success is measured not by applause or Instagram likes, but by how fully you live your truth. When you commit to living this way, the outer world begins to shift naturally. Your relationships deepen because you show up authentically. Your work becomes more fulfilling because it aligns with your values, and your everyday moments feel richer because you are present, not distracted or disconnected. Challenges don't disappear, but your response to them changes. Instead of reacting with fear or frustration, you respond with calm clarity, rooted in the knowledge that your inner world is your foundation, unshakable and strong. This chapter invites you to start today, to take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I living from the inside out, or am I living from the outside in? It's a question that may not have an immediate answer, and that's okay. The important thing is to begin noticing where your power is truly coming from and to lean into the messy, beautiful process of reclaiming it. And if you find yourself struggling or doubting, remember you're not alone. Every person who's ever dared to live authentically has walked this path with uncertainty. So share your story in the comments below with friends or on your favorite social platform, and watch how your courage to live from the inside out inspires others to do the same. Together, we can start a ripple of real change, one honest, in conversation at a time. If this chapter resonated with you, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below what living from the inside out means to you. Your voice matters, and your story could be the spark that lights up someone else's journey. Thank you for showing up, for being brave, and for choosing your inner world as your guide. The real magic starts here, from the inside out. Guardian of your own energy, pay attention to what you feel when you wake up, what thoughts you feed during the day, and how you nurture yourself when the world tries to pull you down. Small daily habits like pausing to breathe, writing down what you're grateful for, moving your body, or simply allowing yourself a moment of stillness can build an energy reserve that will serve you in the hardest times. Remember, energy isn't about perfection, it's about presence, the willingness to meet yourself honestly and lovingly in every moment. And when you do that, you unlock a power that no external circumstance can take away. If this chapter resonated with you, please hit that like button below, share this message with someone who needs it, and leave a comment telling us how you plan to raise your energy today. Your story could be the spark that lights someone else's path. Let's start a movement where authenticity, presence, and true inner power become the new normal, because energy doesn't lie. And together, we can change the world one vibration at a time. Chapter 9. Living from the Inside Out. Have you ever felt like life was happening to you rather than because of you? Like you're stuck reacting to outside forces, opinions, and expectations, constantly trying to fit a mold that doesn't quite fit? That feeling is what happens when we live disconnected from our inner world, when our choices are made based on the noise around us instead of the quiet compass inside. But imagine what life would look like if you flipped that script entirely, if instead of being tossed around by every external storm, you anchored yourself deeply within your own truth and let that truth guide every step. Living from the inside out isn't about ignoring the outside world. It's about responding to it from a place of strength, clarity, and authenticity. When you connect with that inner core, decisions become easier, stress loses its grip, and your relationships shift because you stop needing others to validate your worth. You start creating your life deliberately rather than by accident. This isn't some vague spiritual idea reserved for gurus or monks. It's a practical, powerful shift that anyone can make, and it's what separates those who live fulfilled lives from those who merely survive. The challenge is learning to quiet the endless chatter of shoulds and musts fed by society, family, or even your own fears, and instead listening deeply to what you really want, believe, and feel. This requires courage, because living authentically often means breaking patterns, disappointing others, and stepping into the unknown. But here's the truth. The discomfort of staying small is far worse than the discomfort of growing. When you choose your inner world as the source of your power, you reclaim ownership of your story, and suddenly every setback becomes a lesson, every criticism a chance to refine your path. Your energy changes, others sense it, and suddenly you attract opportunities and people who resonate with the real you, not a mask you've worn for years. It's a ripple effect that starts within but impacts every area of your life, from your career and finances to friendships and romance. Living from the inside out means aligning your actions with your values, your voice with your vision, and your heart with your habits. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and trusting that every chapter of your journey has led you here, ready to step into your full power. It means waking up each day with intention rather than obligation, and going to sleep knowing you showed up authentically. But most importantly, it means embracing the beautiful, messy, unpredictable process of becoming who you were always meant to be, without apology, without fear, and with fierce love for yourself. If this chapter speaks to you, if something inside is stirring and telling you it's time to stop living on autopilot and start living from your own truth, then I invite you to take one simple step right now. Pause this video, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what does living from the inside out mean for me today? Then share your thoughts below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this message moved you, please like and share this video with your friends and family. Let's start a movement where we all stop reacting and start creating from the inside out. Chapter 10. Unleash your inner world power. There is a force inside you that has been quietly waiting, sometimes buried beneath layers of doubt, fear, and distraction, but it's always been there, vibrant and alive, pulsing with a power that can transform your entire life from the inside out. This force is your inner world power, the essence of who you are, beyond the noise, beyond what the world expects or demands. And when you tap into it, nothing outside of you can ever truly shake your foundation again. For too long, society has taught us to look outward for validation, for answers, for meaning, as if the next job, relationship, achievement, or possession would finally fill the emptiness inside. But the truth is, everything you've ever longed for has been inside you all along, hidden in that quiet, sacred space of your mind and heart where your truest self resides. When you finally stop running from your own silence and begin to listen, to really listen, you start to hear a voice that knows your potential without judgment, that embraces your flaws without shame, that invites you to reclaim your authentic power without apology. This is the moment where transformation begins, not because you suddenly become perfect or your life becomes flawless, but because you learn to stand tall in the face of imperfection and uncertainty, because you discover that your worth is inherent and unshakable, and because you realize that the power to create, heal, and evolve has been yours to wield all along. It's easy to forget this truth when life gets messy. The bills pile up, relationships strain, and the world's noise drowns out your inner whispers. But that's exactly why cultivating your inner world power matters more than ever. Imagine your mind as a vast inner landscape, where thoughts are seeds and emotions, the water and sunlight. Nurture them wisely, and you'll grow a garden of resilience, clarity, and peace. Neglect them, and weeds of doubt and fear take root, choking your growth. The great news is that you get to choose which seeds to plant. You get to decide the story you tell yourself, the beliefs you nurture, and the emotional states you cultivate. Daily, It starts with awareness, pausing long enough to notice when your inner critic speaks, when your fears surface, when old patterns replay, and choosing instead to respond with kindness, curiosity, and courage. This practice isn't about instant perfection, but about consistent presence, showing up for yourself day after day, even when it's hard. It's in these small moments of conscious choice that your inner world power expands, building new neural pathways that reinforce hope, confidence, and love over limitation, doubt, and fear. You don't have to do this alone either. Connection is a powerful catalyst. Surround yourself with people who reflect your best self, who believe in growth, who encourage your journey inward without judgment. Share your story vulnerably. It will inspire others and deepen your own understanding that you are not alone in this quest. And remember, setbacks are not failures. They're signposts guiding you toward greater self-awareness and resilience. When life knocks you down, your inner world power is the compass that guides you back to your center, your true north. This power also calls for radical acceptance, not settling for less than you deserve, but embracing exactly where you are right now, with all the imperfections and struggles, as fertile ground for transformation. It's in accepting your present reality fully that you unlock the space to grow beyond it. To truly unleash your inner world power, you must step out of survival mode and into creation mode. Stop reacting to life's chaos and start responding with intention. This means setting boundaries that protect your energy, cultivating daily rituals that nourish your soul, and dreaming boldly about the life you want to co-create with the universe. Your inner world is the architect of your outer reality, so design it with purpose, courage, and love. Your thoughts and feelings are not just random, they are the building blocks of your destiny. If you plant seeds of hope, gratitude, and belief in yourself, you will harvest a life that feels rich, meaningful, and aligned with who you truly are. And here's the secret many never realize. Your power grows exponentially when you share it. When you lift others up, speak your truth, and live authentically, you create ripples that reach far beyond what you can see. Your inner world power is contagious. It inspires, heals, and transforms communities and generations. So, as you close this journey, I invite you to take a moment, breathe deeply, and feel into that inner space where your power lives. It's waiting for you to claim it fully. Speak to it with love, tend to it with care, and watch how your whole world begins to shift. And if this message touched you, if you felt even a flicker of hope or courage stirring inside, please do one thing for me. Hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and leave a comment telling me what your inner world power means to you. Your story matters, and together we can create a movement of people waking up to their own true power, one heart at a time. Remember, this is not just a book, not just a video. This is your invitation to live a life designed from the inside out. So go on, unleash your inner world power. The world is waiting. Conclusion. As we reach the close of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and truly feel what you've uncovered. The undeniable truth that the power to shape your life, your reality, and your future has always lived inside you, quietly waiting to be recognized and embraced. This inner world you've been exploring isn't just some abstract idea. It's the foundation of everything you see and experience outside yourself. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they aren't random or accidental. They are the architects of your reality, molding the life you live every single day. And here's the most incredible part. No matter what you've been told or what you might have believed about your limitations, you hold the keys to rewrite your story, to heal your past, and to design a future that reflects the deepest truth of who you are. This isn't about changing overnight or becoming someone else. It's about remembering, reclaiming, and stepping fully into your own power. So when life challenges you, and it will, remember to pause, look inward, and ask yourself what your silent inner world is telling you. Nurture it, trust it, and let it guide your steps with courage and clarity. And if this message has moved you, inspired a flicker of hope, or sparked a new understanding, I invite you to share it. Like this video, comment your experience below. Your story matters, and share it with someone who needs to hear this truth right now. Together, we can light up the world with the power of our inner worlds. Because when you awaken your inner power, you don't just change your own life, you ripple out and change the lives of everyone around you. Thank you for listening, for being brave enough to look inside, and for choosing to live from the inside out.